Hey, everybody, thank you for joining us for tonight's episode of A Great Black Debates, where you have a TED Talk meets a battle rap. It is a TED Talk because it's an intelligent conversation, but it's a battle rap because it's a competition. And what we are debating tonight is, should Black people support bad Black businesses? Should Black people support bad Black businesses? And who I have debating with me tonight is Letha Goodman. She is a community activist, and I also have Team Africa Worldwide, and he is a vlogger. So I just want to take a moment to say, hey guys, how are you? How you doing, Letha?
Fine, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. And how are you, Team Africa Worldwide?
I'm great, Mambo.
Cool. So I want to take a moment to go over the rules just so that the audience is aware of how the Great Black Debates work. We have 4 rounds. The first 2 rounds are 2-minute rounds, and the last 2 rounds are 3-minute rounds. Each person gets a round. I will start with the coin toss, and Letha will be the one to decide the coin toss. If she wins, she gets to decide who starts the debate, and if Team Africa Worldwide wins, he will get to determine who starts the first round. I want to also ask any of you who may be viewing, if you have an interest in being a debater here on Great Black Debates, that you go to greatblackdebates.com. We also allow for you to vote. And if you can vote at vote.greatblackdebates.com to decide who you felt won tonight's debate. Now, mind you, in order to be a contestant and in order to debate, it does not mean that that our contestants here will disagree. You will be voting on who you felt laid out the best position to support their position. I am going to. We have Letha. She already called tails before we started, so I'm going to toss the coin. And it is tails. So Letha, who would you like to go first?
Team Africa Worldwide.
Okay, Team Africa Worldwide. The question is, again, should Black people support bad Black businesses? Your 2 minutes start now.
My answer is yes. And I know people will cringe when I say that. They will say, why should you reward bad behavior? But I'm not a big statistics guy, but Dr. Anderson always says that we own 1% of 1% of the wealth here in the USA. So we have to support one another no matter what until it gets better. It's just like when the Japanese first started making cars, those cars were absolutely trash. And Asian people, whether they were Japanese or not, they could have been Korean because Kia wasn't out yet. They could have been, they were driving those cars. You never saw them drive American cars. And now look at Honda and Toyota today. So we definitely need to support no matter what.
Okay, so you still had some time left.
But that's my opening.
Okay. So we will end there. You had about 53 seconds left. So now I will let you respond, Letha. Again, the question, should Black people support bad Black businesses? Your time starts now.
I say no. The reason I say no is because we're so much greater than being mediocrity. Mediocrity is not our friend. I do believe in supporting Black businesses, but I don't believe in supporting anything that is bad. With what I see that's going on basically now in the economy, in the world just in general, it's time for us to take our stand as queens, as kings, as soldiers, as true warriors. True warriors and true kings, there are certain things that we're not going to do. Customer service is an issue in any type of businesses. It is very important to be aware and to be knowledgeable of the businesses that are ran. I do not agree with once again, anything that is not good purposely. So my stand on that, honestly, is that we are so much better than those things that are mediocre. Just because somebody else got away with it doesn't mean that we have to lower the bar. It's time for us to rise up. We need to rise our standards as a people, as a whole, so that we can focus on building our wealth and building our value. And that's why I stand on that as far as supporting bad Black business.
Okay, you're done. You had a few seconds left. You're done.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to be sure you were done. Just a quick recap. Team Africa Worldwide says absolutely we should, and he gave an example of when a lot of Asian car makers entered into the market. They were having a lot of issues with their cars, but they kept at it, and those in that community supported those car makers. And then we have Letha Goodman, who is saying absolutely not. We need to raise the bar, and we should not settle for mediocrity. Again, if you would like to be a contestant on Great Black Debates, go to greatblackdebates.com and sign up there. And if you want to vote, we want you to hang around long enough to vote. So at the end of the debate, we want you to go to vote.greatblackdebates.com. So now, Team Africa Worldwide, your next round of 2 minutes will begin in just a second. But I want to ask you to respond to what Letha says about, we need to not settle for mediocrity and raise the bar and still promote Black excellence in what we do. So I will let your time start now.
I will respond to that in comparing the Black business community to a child, because most of us don't have business skills. We're learning the business skills. It's just like if you have a 2-year-old and they're learning the piano and they make ding ding on a couple keys, you're going to support them, you're going to clap, and you're going to say that's great. And then that eventually they'll be playing Mozart. Eventually they'll be playing Beethoven. But if you tell them that sounds like trash and they'll never play again, then you're gonna crush their spirit. They're not gonna even want to try. Of course, excellence is always the final goal, but we support bad white business every day. Microsoft is a giant. It's been around for a long time now, and it's still garbage. Every time they release a product, it's broken. They always have to send you plugins and fixes for you to update. Like, man, I just did an update yesterday. Why do I have to do another update? And then sometimes you put the update in and it breaks your computer more. But we still support that. We still support that. I mean, there's a lot of times, what I do is when I go out to eat, I try to eat at a Black restaurant. And most times I do that when I'm by myself. But a lot of times if I'm with somebody else, they'll want to go to a well-known restaurant. And I will like always try to talk the person I'm with like, let's do this. And they really don't want to support the businesses, the Black restaurants, and I'll speak more to that in a second.
Okay. So, Letha, I got to ask you, he made some points. He talked about how we support poor, trash, non-Black businesses all the time. Wells Fargo has been accused of identity fraud and all sorts of other things, and we still support those businesses. You didn't see a mass exodus of Black people from supporting that moving into Black banks. So what would you say? What is your response to Team Africa Worldwide that Black businesses are also like children? You need to give them some time to grow and evolve and mature. I will let your time begin now.
I will agree. I'm not going to totally disagree with him, but I will say this from what I'm experiencing. I am living in a city, okay, that is Black ran by a lot of high Black dignitaries. Okay, so let me put my sidebar right there. The school system is failing, so let me put that out there. The white folks done gave the people Jackson, Mississippi. They done gave it to them. They done handed over Jackson. Property value is down. The school system is down. Crime rate is at its highest. Okay. And yet and still we're voting for people because they're Black, and I don't have an issue with that. We're supporting our businesses. We're doing all these things, but at some point, some of us have to rise up and say enough is enough. That don't mean that I have to settle for the next racist bad business. And true, Microsoft may be bad. When Wells Fargo had gone, whatever it had going on, I pulled out my little $100 and some because I just pulled out my little money anyway. So I can only control what I can control and try to encourage other people that we have to constantly set the bar higher. We have people who are tired. Okay, we're not just tired of other races. We're tired of each other taking advantage of each other. We're tired of each other telling each other that you have to take this from me just because I'm Black. No. First of all, I'm better than that, and you're better than that, first of all. And there are some people who are babies in businesses. I agree with that. I agree that there are some businesses that are trying to launch themselves off the ground, and they have to learn, and they have to go through the process, and they need to be shaped. They need to be nurtured. They need to be supported. I agree with that. But however, I don't agree with people intentionally taking advantage of their brothers, of their sisters, just because they feel entitled.
Okay, I had to mute Letha there. I like the passion that I'm seeing to begin to kind of show through. Yes, that is wonderful. Again, to just recap, just for a quick moment, Team Africa Worldwide is saying, hey, the Black business is still in its infancy or in childhood, they need some time to evolve, and we need to support and encourage them through it. Also, and then we have Letha, who is saying that she in Jackson, Mississippi, that Blacks have taken over leadership of the city. It's the capital of Jackson, Mississippi, and everything is failing under Black leadership. So she's saying that we need to hold one another accountable and really not start making excuses for our behavior, but raise the bar. So I'm going to ask you, Team Africa, and before I do so, listen, greatblackdebates.com. If you would like to register, please go there, and after the broadcast, you will be able to go to vote.greatblackdebates.com to vote on who you felt won tonight's debate. So Team Africa Worldwide, your 3 minutes, because we moved into the third round. Now each round is 3 minutes, so you have a little more time to kind of flesh out your position. So your time, Team Africa Worldwide, starts now.
Well, I'm glad Letha brought up cities. I'm actually from the blackest city outside of Africa, Detroit, Michigan. We used to control this city. My whole entire life, we had Black mayors and we had Black Congress people, okay? And these people were constantly under attack by the other people who live in Eastern Michigan, constantly under attack. Anybody with a backbone, they were under attack, and they tried to lock them up, and they did lock them up. And Black people fell for that. Black people didn't support these people. They didn't look at the job that they were trying to do. They didn't look at whether or not they had the best interest of the people. They just listened to the media. The media told these people that your leaders are so corrupt and you're so stupid for voting for them. And so we know what they did. They gave the city away. They finally elected a white mayor. We got gentrified and ran out of downtown. We got gentrified and ran out of midtown. And guess what? The new mayor is corrupt. He was exposed for illegal bidding, giving bids away to demolish houses prior to the bid. But then he got off of it because he said that the governor knew. The governor was Teflon. You know he's a crook because he let all the people in Flint get poisoned. So by us not supporting these Black politicians who made mistakes, we lost the whole city. So when you don't support bad Black business, you get no Black business. It was what happens as a result. It's just like I was saying about the restaurants. You know, I will take my friends and family to black restaurant. I'll say, I know about this restaurant. I'm not going to tell them that it's black restaurant up front because automatically they're probably not going to want to go. Then when we get there, they know this, oh, it's a black wait staff, black hostess. And they might, oh, is this black owned? Like, yeah, it's black owned. And at that point, their level of scrutiny rises through the roof. Anything that they can complain about, they will complain about. They might say the hostess was rude, the waitress was rude, the food was overcooked, this and that. And most of the times what they say, yeah, I didn't like that. Don't bring me back here again. And when we go to other restaurants, I can go to a restaurant with that same person. We can go to BW3s or Outback or somewhere like that. And I'll say, well, I don't know about this waitress. She's kind of rude. And they'll say, well, it's kind of busy in here. Well, it wasn't busy at the black restaurant.
Okay, sorry, I had to mute Team Africa Worldwide. He ran out of time, but I will give Letha an opportunity to respond. Or, what do you have to say to Team Africa Worldwide, where Black people are scrutinizing the businesses of Black people more than they're scrutinizing others, and that Detroit was in a similar situation with its political climate, and they gave over the city to whites, and it's been gentrified, and so it's further hurt Black people. What do you say to that? Your 3 minutes start now.
Well, I want to say it's unfortunate. I do. I want to say that it's unfortunate that we dropped the ball, but we dropped the ball on so many levels. It's sad that we did drop the ball. We gave, and the city was given over. So I would say that, and I would say that I even apologize for that. I find myself to be an apologetic person. But let me speak about what's going here in Jackson, Mississippi once again. Okay. I'm tired of seeing people being murdered. I'm so tired. It's hurtful. You understand what I'm saying? And it's not that the mayor is corrupt. It's not that the past mayor was corrupt. It's just that we're living in this entitlement syndrome, and I'm sick and tired of it. I'm tired of Mississippi being at the bottom. I'm tired of my child going to school, and she's in the IB program, okay, and she's going to school, but the principal, who is, they don't care. You're a predominantly Black school district, and everybody has totally dropped the ball. Everybody is pointing the finger, but nobody is being held accountable. And I'm sick of that. We're so much greater than that. We say we're queens. We say we're kings. We say we're all of this royalty. We're walking being royal. Okay, live in their royalty. Act in their royalty. Conduct business how it's supposed to be conducted. I don't have no business crossing the lines, okay, going across to the other county. I don't write the rules over there. We write the rules where we live. But if we're going to write the rules where we live, we're not supposed to write the rules in a way to where we're not going to hold ourselves accountable. That is what I'm experiencing. That is what we're living here. I mean, I can even mention as far as the water bills. People are getting water bills sent out to their homes, $600 and $700 a month, $1,000 water bills, all because Black folk let these other people come in and read these meters, all because they're playing the buddy system. It's all I'm saying. And once again, I'm all for Black leadership. The mayor is not corrupt. Okay, I'm all for Black businesses. Our Black business people, they're not corrupt. But what's happening and what I'm realizing and what I'm noticing is people feel like they're entitled to go out and rob you. Okay, they can rob you at the red light and nobody's being held accountable. Okay, my aunt has lived in her neighborhood for over almost 30 years, and she stayed there when everybody moved out the neighborhood. She was determined that she was going to stay there, and the people are steady robbing and killing and stealing. So that's what I'm tired of. I'm tired of us not holding each other accountable, and we're making excuses.
All right, I had to cut Letha off. She's getting fired up. I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, listen, if you want to be a contestant on the Great Black Debates, all you got to do is go to greatblackdebates.com and register, and we will hopefully select you to be a contestant. Also, when the broadcast is over, you can go to vote.greatblackdebates.com to cast your vote in terms of for who you felt gave the best argument for their position tonight. So I'm just going to do a quick recap. So I hear Team Africa saying that Black businesses are scrutinized at a rate that we as Black people don't scrutinize other people. So we're holding ourselves to a higher level of accountability that we're not holding ourselves. So I kind of hear you saying, give Black businesses the same pass you'll give other business, otherwise hold other business with as much scrutiny as you're gonna hold Black businesses. And then he's saying, that we're not supporting the politicians that were in the community who had the community's best interest at heart. And we allowed ourselves to be swayed by other people who didn't have the best interest in heart, who were outside of the community, maybe fighting those who didn't have our best interest, but we didn't support those who were in position, and now they were removed, and certainly the ones that moved in didn't have the best interest. And then I think I hear Letha saying that we're not holding those in leadership accountable for the things that they do. And I will ask in this final round of 3 minutes, because what it sounds like I'm hearing here is the problem is not necessarily the leadership or the businesses per se. It sounds like the problem is that the communities aren't supporting it. It sounds like, because even though you guys have different positions, one of the things that I'm hearing Team Africa saying, hey, we have Black leadership, the people didn't support it, the community didn't get behind them. I'm hearing Letha say, listen, we got all Black leaders and they're able to get away with everything, and they're not paying attention to those things that are important to the community, and electricity bills are going up and all of these things, because it sounds like the community as a whole is just not involved in what's going on. And so it's leading people like her who care about her community to be frustrated. So I will ask you, Team Africa, you get to respond to what Letha said, but then also, what do you think about the position of Black people just not supporting as they should? I will let your 3 minutes start now.
Well, I think we need to approach these matters from multiple angles and not just one angle. I mean, be it politics or business. If we have people that are not doing the right thing, I don't think the best decision or the best action is to abandon them. The thing is that we need to support them from one point, especially in front of the presence of others, show a united front. And then we need to come around the corner when the cameras are off and say, this is the issues that we have, and this is what needs to be done. We need to be more engaged. And I know it's difficult because a lot of people, they're living from check to check. You taking care of your family, you got your kids, you don't have a lot of free time. But I mean, it's sacrifice. It's all about sacrifice. I mean, everybody has time to watch a movie on Netflix. That 2 hours could be spent at a city council meeting. That 2 hours could be spent at a neighborhood block club meeting. So it's like we need to approach these matters from two angles. I mean, when it comes to politicians, if they don't do the job, I mean, they're elected, so they can eventually get voted out. But hopefully you replace that person with a Black politician who will do the job, and not just, in my community, people said they wanted to go with something different, and what they meant by something different was somebody who didn't look like them, because the Black man that ran against him had no affiliation really with the prior mayor. He wasn't even in the same circle with the prior mayor. The only thing they had in common was that they were both Black men. And so when people said they wanted something different, the only thing they were talking about was a different skin color, because these two men weren't even buddy like that. So we have to know that it's more than one way to approach these matters. Like I said, with Black business, if you go to a restaurant, maybe you won't tip as much as you would have tipped, but at the same time, what I do a lot of times is I'll leave extra tip, and then I'll write on the receipt, service could have been better. Believe me, you do that, the mayor is going, the chef, the manager, they're gonna come to your table. If you just tip $10 on a $10 meal and you write service should be better, they're coming to your table.
Okay, I had to mute Team Africa Worldwide. He's giving some tips on how we can support Black businesses. And Lita, I will let you respond. Your final 3 minutes starts now.
Well, one way I believe in supporting Black businesses is patronize the business. I mean, it is what it is. I encourage that. We run into a time to where your smaller businesses, their prices tend to be a little higher. But what do? We want to gripe, moan, gripe about it. You don't want to, some of us don't want, they don't have the urgency to support the Black businesses, to even patronize them for an extra $10 or $15, not understanding that when businesses run on a lower scale, sometimes they have to charge just a little bit more. Now, let me put a sidebar right here. I am a Black supervisor on my job, okay? I have went out my way to help Black women, okay? I'm gonna put a sidebar right there. Okay, and it's always something that never seems to be good enough. And I feel guilty and I feel convicted if I don't continue to go the extra mile. We're living in a world to where people have become, like they say, people go to prison, they become institutionalized. People have become systematically tied, okay? I'm tired of people becoming so dependent on the system. And so dependent on entitlement that they don't have an urgency to be better. They don't have an urgency to be greater. Okay, and when you have people who are trying to instill those values in you, I can't want it for you more than you want it for yourself. So I think that it's an urgency for us to encourage each other, yes, to support each other, but we still have to set the bar high, because when we don't set the bar high, what happens to our children? And what happens to our children's children? And I tell people, if you want to know what's going on with the kids in the school, take a look at their parents. Take a look at their parents, okay? JPS, where I am, the kids eat free, but they turning around and they selling snacks at the school. You should not be allowed to sell snacks to my child that eats free. So these are things that I think that we need to address that we're not addressing because we don't want to step on each other's toes. We don't want to make each other mad. And I think people have gotten so used to going along with the flow, but it's okay to be different and it's okay to be that voice. But I just believe that we're so much greater than lowering our standards. We don't have to look like everybody. We don't have to talk like everybody. We don't have to dress like everybody. I don't have to live in the same house or drive the same car that everybody's drive, but I do know that I am so much greater than lowering my standards. Okay, and we have dropped the ball in so many communities, not just in Mississippi, not just in central Mississippi, but we have gotten okay with becoming complacent and with becoming mediocre, and that is not okay to me.
Okay, I had to mute Letha. Her final 3-minute round was over. Thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight for Great Black Debates. And now you can go to vote.greatblackdebates.com and cast your vote for who you felt laid out the best argument for their position. One of the things that I would like to leave with is something that Letha said, and I think she really kind of hit the nail on the head. Whichever you believe, whichever position that you take, whether we should or whether we should not support Black businesses, if we don't change something about how we engage with each other in terms of our economics, which is our businesses, we have the next generations that will follow. We will leave them in the same conditions that we are in now. So supporting Black businesses is very important. It is very central to our survival. Just by you guys being here and tuning into this broadcast and being on this platform, an independent Black-owned platform or Black ran, it is so important because this is one of the ways that you support, but we have to start giving our dollars to Black businesses. However you can justify that, however you can do it where it's comfortable for you, whether you say I'm not going to do it for Black businesses, only for businesses that meet my approval. Either way, go out of your way to put your money in a Black business hand. That's what I will say. But I will give you all an opportunity, and I should have asked you before the broadcast if you wanted to give out your social media for individuals that may want to connect with you for any reason. I know that you are a community activist, Letha, and that you are a blogger, Team Africa Worldwide. So Letha, I'll let you go first. If you don't want to give it out, that's fine. You can just say your final words to the audience.
You can just find me at Letha's Real Talk, hashtag Letha's Real Talk, or motivation of lifestyle change. So I believe in pushing people beyond their comfort zone. I appreciate for being here. I appreciate this platform. At this point, it's not just about me. It's just about the platform and the movement, and I appreciate great Black debates.
Okay, Team Africa Worldwide.
Okay, if you would like to hear more of my opinions about various topics that affect African people, you can check me out on YouTube, Team Africa Worldwide. You can check me out on Instagram, Team Africa Worldwide. And if you want to email me, same thing, my email address is teamafricaworldwide@gmail.com. And I just want to say that we can't be afraid to engage one another. A lot of times we don't talk to one another. We just get mad and we leave situations. But what I do is when I see a young man with his pants down, I'm not afraid to approach him and let him know that that's not cool, and that's what I do. That's how I live my life. And I think that's what we should do. We need to love one another. You got to look at, any Black person just like they're your family member. You can't choose your family, and your family, whether they're bad or good, is still gonna be your family. You still gotta love them. So we got to engage these people, and everything is gonna work out. It is.
Cool. So it's been great having you guys on. Thank you guys so much for being contestants here tonight and debating. And again, thanks to you audience for tuning in. Until next time, we hope you all are well. You have a good evening.
Bye, Harry.